Hey, what's up, fellas? How we doing, man? Antonelli here, answering your questions today. Today's question is on post-game talks by managers in the minor leagues and the major leagues. Do they happen? What do the managers talk about? How frequently do they happen? And so we're going to go over all that stuff today. Um, let's start off with the minor leagues because it's different at each level. Um, you're going to have a lot more managers meeting with teams or meeting with the team after games at the minor league level than you're going to have at the major league level. And in the minor leagues, the lower levels of the minor leagues, you're going to have a lot of meetings. And so, when I was in short season and low A ball and even high A ball, you get talked to a lot by the manager. So a lot of times at the lower levels after games, you'll come in and usually the manager, I played on some teams where after every game, the manager came in kind of talked about a couple of key things that happened, maybe some adjustments we're going to make, or things we have to do better, or things we did well, and he just wants to congratulate a few guys or just point out a few positive things that happened to some players. That happened a lot, almost every day at certain levels. I can remember, you know, probably happens more about negative things than positive things. But like I said, there were some teams that we'd meet almost every day. I remember in low A meetings that stick out. I remember in low A, it was one of my first times up to low A. I think it was like maybe my second game. I remember a pitcher got laid into because he changed out of uniform before the manager talked to us after the game. And so every manager is going to do things a little bit differently. Like my first season was in short season A ball, and we got talked to after the game, but we didn't get talked to. I don't think every single game. When I went to low A, it felt like I wasn't there a real long time. I only played like a couple weeks there, but it felt like we got talked to after every game. And I got there like towards the end of the year, so I didn't know the rules. And I just remember like manager laying into this pitcher for getting undressed, getting out of uniform before the manager talked to us. And there's something I didn't realize, and I was like, okay, I guess we don't get undressed here until we talk to the manager or listen to at least what he has to say. Um, so that's how it was in low A. Like I said, in short season A, I remember getting ripped into a couple times. I remember one game I had a really bad game. I made 2 errors at third base, and I remember it was a rough game all around. I think we probably made like 4 or 5 errors that game, and I remember the manager ripping into the team afterwards. Um, I remember in high A getting told like the first week of the season, our manager came in and told us we were the worst high A team he'd ever managed. We started off pretty poorly. We ended up being one of the best teams. I got moved up that season and went to Double A. But before guys started getting moved up, I think we were in first place at one point and we played really well. Maybe it was the talk that we got from the manager. I don't know. But we were a really, really talented team that year. I think we had like almost everyone in the starting lineup that season eventually played in the major leagues. Most of the guys got at least a sniff at the major league level. So it was a really good team. Once we got to Double A and Triple A, the post game meetings, kind of went down. There was in Triple A, I remember, and even in Double A, a lot of times game ends, you just come in, get undressed, and leave. And that's kind of the way it works as you get older. So in the major leagues, that's exactly how it works. Like the game ends, at least again for me. Some teams may be different, but at least talking with a lot of my buddies and being around a lot of guys. Typically, the game ends. You come in, you get undressed, you take a shower, you eat, and you leave. You're not going to come in. It's not like the minor leagues where everyone sits at their locker waiting for Terry Francona to come in and say, hey guys, we missed that cutoff and relay play there, and we got to do a better job with runners in scoring position. Like, doesn't happen. Typically in the major leagues, if you're going to have a meeting, it's usually going to be because of something bad, and it usually has to be really bad. Like you're not going to meet in the major leagues after every game. You're not going to meet if you're on a couple game losing streak. I've heard managers say that they have one or two meetings the whole year. They'll have one. I know Joe Madden. I've heard him talk a lot about how he doesn't believe in meetings, and they just don't have them. And there's a lot of managers like that. I'm sure there are some managers that meet more often. But again, it's not going to be every game, and I highly doubt it's even once a week. You may get it every couple of weeks. Sometimes before a game, manager may hit on a couple of things. But again, even at the major league level, it doesn't really happen. A lot of the stuff that happens at the major league level is kind of one-on-one stuff, and even at the high minor league levels, AAA, it usually happens one-on-one stuff, like in the manager's office. So a lot of times after a game, manager may come up to you, or somebody will come up to you and be like, "Hey, can you head down to the office? I got to talk to you real quick." Or a coach come over, hey, can you come to the office? Coach wants to talk to you. Or they won't say coach in the major league; they'll just say the guy's name. If it's Terry Francona, they're gonna say, "Hey, Tito wants to talk to you." And so you'll go in, you usually shut the door, and it's a one-on-one thing. If it's a situation that happened, if it's figuring out if a guy is healthy, if he's banged up, if something's bothering him, it usually always happens in private, kind of in the manager's office. That's the way a lot of the meetings go. For whatever reason, you're dealing with older players usually, and so there's not going to be a lot of team stuff where you're discussing all that stuff. Where, if you're a college player or a minor league player, a lot of that stuff is just going to be, talked about maybe in front of the entire team. And there's certain situations where in the low minor leagues where you're going to obviously go to the manager's office, but a lot of stuff kind of happens as a team after games. When you get older, it's more one-on-one stuff. So that's kind of how it goes with as far as meetings and stuff are concerned. In spring training, that is one area in spring training where there'll be a couple more team type things. And a lot of that is because, spring training is really for a lot of the install stuff, a lot of the team building stuff. And so you may have more meetings. You usually have meetings in the morning. Like when I was with the Padres, we'd have a team meeting every single morning. We'd all get together and, Buddy would come in and talk to the whole team, and we'd just go over different stuff. Post game, I don't really remember doing a lot of stuff post game or anything post game, but it was usually first thing in the morning. You come in as a team, get together, have a meeting. Again, that's more spring training. Like I said, that never happened in the major leagues when I was with the Padres. So again, hopefully that gives you a little bit of insight into kind of how the meetings go. If you have any more questions, let me know in the comment section below, and I'll help you guys out. Subscribe to the channel if you've not done so already. Share the video with all your friends. I really appreciate that. Give us a thumbs up. Check out our Instagram page, Antonelli Baseball, our Twitter feed, Man99. I'm posting videos all the time for you guys. Check out the description box below. I've got a bunch of links to books and training tools that we use with all of our players. I think you guys will enjoy. Check out our website, AntonelliBaseball.com, where you guys can learn how to be part of our team and also work with our staff. And that's all I got for you guys. Thank you again for the question, and thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you later.